Hey monkeys, how you doing? Damian Keyes here. So, how do you sell 1,000 EPs? Yes, I know. If you've been on my channel before, you will know that I am not a fan of bands making EPs, or at least not for a certain amount of time. However, every single day without fail, 10 artists and 10 bands will come through asking me advice on how to sell their EPs. So whilst I'm not a massive fan, you clearly are, so I might as well go with it and help you while I can. So how do you sell 1,000 EPs? Well, that's what we're going to discuss today. So come with me on a journey as I give you my top 10 tips to help you sell 1,000 EPs. Tip number one, setting this as your goal. Now, we are aware that selling 1,000 EPs is a big goal. It's a big challenge. So therefore, we need as much help as we can get. So this is now your target, 1,000 EPs. It's not writing songs, it's not gigging, it's not how you push people to Spotify. Every time you do these things, you are diluting the water because you're setting lots and lots of challenges for yourself, and this is a big one. So from here on in, that is your goal. We are not going to stop until we sell 1,000 EPs, and therefore, every time that you do something, you will ask yourself the question, is this going to help me sell more EPs? If I'm going to go and do a gig, is that because I am going to push getting these EPs sold? If I'm going to write a song, how is that going to help me sell EPs? If it's not, then we have to push this stuff out of the way and concentrate on prioritizing the most important things, which for you right now is selling 1,000 EPs, because I can promise you this is a tough ask. So if you've got lots and lots of plates which you're spinning, you're probably going to find this very, very difficult. Clear the way and let's work on this one target until we've got it. Then we can start to dilute and start to look into other challenges. Tip number two, selling is dirty. It's a dirty word when it comes to musicians, but we've got to get into sales mode because we've got to sell 1,000 of these EPs. So therefore, everybody gets asked and nobody gets a freebie. Anyone who's coming to you saying, yeah, but you know, come on mate, I don't have to pay, do I? Get in a bin, of course you have to pay. This is an achievable target, but anyone who is not paying is against you, and we need everyone to come together in a challenge to get you to 1,000 EPs sold. And friends and family and bandmates, friends and family and fans, everyone is coming together for this challenge. So therefore, no freebies, and also everyone gets asked, I need you to buy this EP. I'm really sorry to do this, but I need you to buy this EP again and again and again. Tip number three, if you want to sell 1,000 EPs, get used to asking 5,000 or probably 10,000 people, because people forget or people say no. Get used to that rejection, and also get used to re-asking again and again. Have you bought the EP? Oh mate, I forgot, I'm really sorry. I need you to buy the EP. I'm not letting you up on this. You are someone who needs to buy the EP. You are in my close friends, family, and fan base group. I need you to do this for us. This is what's going to propel us to the next level. So get used to re-asking, get used to rejection, but more importantly, get used to asking 5 to 10 times as many people as you are trying to sell. Tip number four, is 1,000 EPs sold a realistic target? Have you sold 100 EPs? Have you sold 300 EPs? Have you sold 500 EPs before? Or is this your first EP? Don't set yourself up to fail. If you haven't, if this is your first EP, why don't we start with 100, and then if you get 300, you've smashed your target. But if this is your fourth EP, and you've sold 100, 100, and 100, again, you're very unlikely to jump from 100 to 1,000. So firstly, is this realistic? Have we gone through these stages? And is this something that we can actually achieve? If not, let's be realistic, set realistic targets, and think about 2 or 3 EPs in the future to get to that magic 1,000. Tip number 5, what is this music attached to? Now, we're all aware that in this day and age, music is free. Music has always, throughout the ages, it's always been attached to something. It was attached to vinyl, it was attached to cassette, it was attached to CD, it was attached to tickets. It's been attached to something. Now, music is not attached to anything at all. You can just go and get it on your phone or listen to it on Spotify, which is making selling EPs or selling music very, very difficult indeed. But it can be done. So what are you attaching it to? Are you attaching it to a physical thing like a CD? Or are you attaching it to something else, which doesn't necessarily have to be something you play it on? It could be merch, What is it that you're attaching the music to? So when you buy this, you are getting the music. Because if you do that, people feel like they're getting something. Whereas if you say, do you want the music? Yeah, I want the music. Well, in that case, you have to pay us the money. And they go, well, I'll just go and listen to it for free. Very, very difficult to do that. So what are you going to attach the music to? And it doesn't have to be a physical form to play the music, because we already know that that's going to be on Spotify, or it's going to be on Deezer, or it's going to be somewhere. So what are you attaching the music to make that monetary value worthwhile for the person buying it? Tip number 6, setting up arrows. Every bit of band real estate needs to point to the thing that you want the audience to do. In this case, buying an EP. So if you've got banners on your Facebook, banners on your YouTube, if you've got links in your Instagram, if you've got links in your Twitter, if you've got an email signature, anything at all where you've got band real estate that you can say, this is the thing that we need you to do. That's the point where you're pointing to the place to go and get it. Whether it's buy it on CD or buy it on iTunes, make this a one place. Don't say you can either do this or this or this or this. It confuses it and people won't do it. Just say, here's the one thing we need you to do. Click here, it will take you here, and that's where you buy it. That is the most simple process that you can make, and make your band real estate count. Don't give them 5 different things to think about. Give them one. Everything points to this one thing that you need them to do. Tip number 7, what's the value? After this point, I want you to pause this video, get pen and paper, and I want you to write down what is the value that you are giving to your audience. And it can't just be, oh, it's the music. It's not enough now. So what is the value you're giving? So let me tell you, a little while ago, I wrote a book. This book, The Rule Breaker's Guide to Social Media, available in all good Amazons. But when I released this book, it was after nearly 2 years of giving value, and that value was in the form of me giving out content practically every single day, trying to build relationships, trying to make new friends, trying to give something, give, and never ask. I was never like, I need you to do this, and demand and demand and demand. I was just saying, come with me on the journey. I'm going to try and help you guys, and I'm going to talk about the music industry, and I was give. There was the value. But when it came to the release date, when I just said, guys, my book is out, now's the time I really need your help, I was so overwhelmed with how many people were like, yeah, of course, dude, of course, no problem at all. And people were just off buying the book all around the world. And I couldn't believe it. But if I had negated the first part of it and just written the book and gone, everybody buy my book, nobody would have given a shit. Everyone gave a shit because of the 1.5 years before that, where I was giving value after value after value, and at the same time not asking or demanding for them to do things every week. So I want you to pause this video now and write down, what is it besides the music? What is it that's the value that you are giving to your audience? And if you don't have a good enough answer, what is the value going to be that you are going to give your audience? Tip number 8, targeted ads. Now wait, don't go anywhere. I know how you feel about targeted pay-per-click ads, but hear me out on this one. The audience that you have built up over the last year or 2 years or 3 years are the hottest leads that you have. These are the people that have seen or heard about you and said, yeah, this is cool, I'm interested. Now, these people need to know what it is that you're doing and what it is that you want them to do, because most of them aren't getting to hear about your stuff, especially on Facebook, considering what they've done to the algorithm. But they have allowed you to get to them via targeted ads. So stop targeting ads away from your audience and start targeting ads to your audience. You'll find when you do this, yes, it's a little bit more expensive because you're targeting them. Is it fair? I don't know, but Facebook have made it that way. But these are people that are the hottest leads. These are the people that are most likely to buy your EP. So therefore, they need to know about it. So you need to get that message across to them. So start to figure out your targeted adverts to your audience. Tip number 9, what's the story that leads up to this EP? Have you taken people on enough of a journey and given them enough of a story? Because marketing revolves around stories and not just punching people in the face with advertising. So you need to take people on a journey. And here's a tip. I don't just mean, here's the guitarist in the studio recording the guitar track for the new EP we've got coming up. That's okay, but it's not really a story. I want to know the story. I want to know everything from the inception. I want to know the why. I want to know the where, the when, the who, the what. I want to know all of those questions of the story of the band and this EP and how it's come together and what it means and everything about it and where it's come from and where it's going and where you want it to go. All of those questions are the story. And it can't just be, here I am in the studio again, because that is stuff I see all of the time and it doesn't inspire me to buy music. But when I found out where musicians have come from and where they want to get to and the music and the journey and the story, that makes me buy into them and it makes me buy into their music, and I am much more likely then to buy an EP. Number 10, getting out there. The power of human interaction and face-to-face contact is so ridiculously powerful. And yes, social media is fantastic, but there is nothing more powerful than face-to-face in front of someone with your product, explaining it, selling it, telling about it, showing your passion about it. That is when people will buy into it. And whether that's at a gig or an open mic or whether it's at a networking event, whatever it is, to be able to get out there and actually talk about your product and show it off is so powerful. And then from there you can let the social media do a work when they get involved and they start to follow your journey. But now is the time to get out there and sell this EP face to face as much as online. So that's my top 10 tips on how to sell 1,000 EPs. No, I'm not a massive fan of an EP, but at the same point, if you're gonna make one, you need to know how to sell it. I need you to do something for me, which is I need you to like this video, I need you to share this video, I need you to comment on this video, I need you to just come and be my friend, because it's a lonely place staring down the barrel of this camera with Morgan behind. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow.